everybody, it's Monday and we have a surprise for you. I am Jennifer Norman, here is Kyle, and we are welcoming our awesome guest who has been here many times, but today we have something special. Victor Lodevico is the illustrator of all of the Super Captain Brave Man series, but today he is debuting for you for the very first time his new book, which is part of the Super Captain Brave Man series, but it is called A Kyle Adventure. Now, we have started a couple of years ago an offshoot sub-series called A Kyle Adventure, which follows Kyle in his everyday life. It's not his superhero life, it's his everyday life. And we go through really interesting little tidbits and different kinds of vignettes of what he goes through in life and teach different kinds of lessons about differentiation and diversity. And today, this particular book that Victor is going to read, and I'm going to let him introduce it to you, but has never been read before. This is the very first day, so you guys are hearing it first right here.
Yes.
So Victor, tell me about this amazing book that you wrote.
So this new book, this is our 7th in the collective series. So it's the 3rd in Kyle Adventure. It's called A Sweet Summer. And it's about Kyle going to summer camp, and he meets a friend named Arjun, and he's a boy with type 1 diabetes. You know, I really wanted to highlight this disease process in particular because there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to diabetes. There are different types of diabetes. Type 1 is what we highlight in the book. And yeah, I really would like to read it before I expand. But I was very excited to collaborate with Sharon Calter, who was Kyle's former teacher before retirement. Her daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 8 years old. So I thought it was very fitting because she had done the foreword for our first book, A Day in the Park, with the Super Captain Brave Man series, and I thought it was fitting to have her do the foreword for this one.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to step over here so that we can do a little bit of page turning, and then you and Kyle can man the fort back here.
Fantastic.
Excellent. So here we go. Without further ado, Victor,
the world premiere.
It away.
The world premiere of A Kyle Adventure, Book 3, A Sweet Summer. Okay, let me go some more here. Meet Kyle. Kyle is a young boy with a big heart. He is smart, curious, and always very happy. Kyle loves to learn new things, make new friends, and have lots of fun. Kyle has extra special things that help him each day because his body doesn't make as much energy as other kids his age. Wheelchair. Kyle has a wheelchair that helps him move around. Ventilator. His ventilator helps him breathe better. G-tube. Under his shirt, he has a spout on his tummy called a G-tube button. Kyle gets liquid formula straight to his G-tube button when it's time to eat. It's summertime! Kyle and his little dog Mochi are excited to spend some time at Camp Adventure. Everybody meets with the camp staff at the fire pit near the lake. Welcome to Camp Adventure, Mr. Reed says. I'm Mr. Reed, your camp director. Nurse Leah and Nurse Bridget are your head counselors. I can already tell that this will be our best summer yet. Mr. Reed separates everyone into groups and reminds the kids to follow camp rules, have fun, and let their counselors know if they need any extra help with anything. Kyle recognizes a lot of his friends and introduces himself to the new kids in his group. Hi, my name is Kyle, and this is Mochi, Kyle says to the boy next to him. Is this your first summer at Camp Adventure? Yeah, the boy replies. My name is Arjun. My family just moved here. I can't wait for all the fun activities. Kyle nods, but just before he can respond, Counselor Leah approaches Arjun. Hi, Arjun, she says. It's time to check your blood sugar. Let's go to the medical cabin. Kyle is puzzled, but waves as Arjun and Counselor Leah step away. The campers have a fun morning. They take a nature walk, practice archery, make fun crafts. A while before lunch, Kyle feels tired. He asks Counselor Bridget if he can take a quick nap. When they reach the cabin, Arjun and Counselor Leah are there. Counselor Leah is holding a device to Arjun's finger. Arjun is bleeding. Are you okay, Arjun? Kyle asks, a little worried. Oh yeah, Arjun says with a smile. I've gotten used to getting finger pricks. Finger pricks? Kyle asks. I have diabetes, Arjun explains. This is my glucometer. It checks how much sugar is in my blood. There are many types of diabetes mellitus, Counselor Leah tells Kyle. The common types are type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I have type 1 diabetes, Arjun says. Kyle is curious. He has never met someone with type 1 diabetes. The blood inside you travels all over your body, Counselor Leah explains. The cells in your body need sugar for energy. To get the sugar, you need to have a meal, Counselor Leah says. When you eat food or get formula into your G-tube button, your body breaks it down into a simple sugar called glucose and gets it into your bloodstream. An organ called the pancreas makes a hormone called insulin, Counselor Leah says. The cells in your body need glucose, but they're like locked doors. Insulin is like a key. When it's in the bloodstream, the insulin key unlocks the cell's door to allow glucose inside. My pancreas can't make insulin, Arjun says, so the glucose I have stays in my bloodstream. Too much sugar in my blood makes me extra thirsty and feel sick and sleepy. After I get my blood sugar checked by my glucometer, the number tells me if the sugar in my blood is high or low, Arjun explains. If it's high, I get a shot of insulin, usually in my belly or my arm. That's how I recharge. Doesn't it hurt? Kyle wonders. It does sometimes, but I understand how important it is to give myself the insulin I need, Arjun says. Hold on, just a sec. There we are. Counselor Leah checks her watch. It's 30 minutes to lunch, Arjun, she says. Time for some insulin. Time to recharge, Arjun says. Kyle covers his mouth to yawn and remembers why he came to the cabin. Me too, Kyle laughs. I'll see you at the mess hall after my nap. The mess hall is full of hungry kids. Kyle saves Arjun a seat. Wow, your plate looks delicious, Kyle says. It's very important for me to be aware of what I eat, Arjun says. Complex carbs help manage blood sugar spikes after I eat. Kyle looks to Counselor Bridget. Complex carbs, or carbohydrates, are food that have fiber and starch, Counselor Bridget explains. Foods like beans, veggies, and whole wheat bread break down in your body slowly and can provide lasting energy for your cells. I count how many carbs I eat so I can keep up with how much insulin I might need, Arjun says. The carbs you eat turn into glucose in your body. And glucose needs insulin to get inside your cells, Kyle exclaims. Now you're getting it, Arjun smiles. Complex carbs are perfect for me because I love to play. After lunch, Kyle and Arjun join their group for afternoon activities. They play capture the flag and go on a nature scavenger hunt. Exercise is great for everybody, especially me, Arjun says. Exercise makes it easier to keep my blood sugar levels stable. After a good workout, my body might not need as much insulin to help process carbs. Kyle is impressed by how Arjun maintains his type 1 diabetes, but he still has a question. Will you always have type 1 diabetes? He asks. Well, for now there's no cure, Arjun admits, so it's important for me to stick to my routine. It was hard at first, but with my mom and dad's help, it gets easier. Kyle smiles. His mom and dad are always there to help him feel better too. Plus, Arjun adds, my doctors and diabetic team are always there when I have a question or I'm unsure about something. After a fun day, the campers gather around the campfire. Mr. Reed plays a song on the guitar and everyone sings along. The counselors pass around graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate bars. Yay, s'mores, the campers cheer. Kyle is worried. He knows that s'mores are delicious, but they also have a lot of sugar. Arjun, is it okay for you to eat a s'more? Kyle asks, concerned. Arjun smiles at Kyle. S'mores and other sweets are okay for me to eat in moderation. Moderation means once in a while, Counselor Bridget explains. It's okay to have a treat, but just not all the time. I check my blood sugar before and after treats, Arjun says, and I have to remember to count snacks in my carb journal. Kyle and Arjun clap happily as Mr. Reed and Counselor Leah finish their song. Thanks for sharing with me, Arjun, Kyle says. I've learned so much about type 1 diabetes and about you. Arjun smiles. Type 1 diabetes can be tough to live with sometimes, he says, but it's a lot easier with practice, patience, and great pals like you. The still lake shimmers at Camp Adventure. Kyle has had a great day, full of fun, learning, and a new friend. He puts an arm around Arjun, and the boys sing along with the other campers as the sound of the crackling campfire ends a perfect day. The end. Yay! Fantastic.
That was an amazing, amazing book.
Oh, thank you.
So everybody is going to be interested in your process. How long did it take you to write this?
You know, this book...
Do all of these wonderful illustrations?
This book took a little time. I did a whole lot of research. I'm not going to say that I'm the authority on type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes, but I do have some experience as a nurse, you know, encountering monitoring blood sugar and stuff like that. 10% of the population is affected by diabetes in some form, whether it be pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetes, LATA type diabetes, which is like 1.5. So I thought it was very appropriate to kind of demystify the idea of, and separating rather, type 1 diabetes as its own disease process versus all the other ones. Typically what you do see is children getting diagnosed with type 1 diabetes early on in life, but more often than not, type 2 diabetes is being diagnosed. And I thought it was very appropriate to highlight this particular disease process because there are a lot of misconceptions. People automatically assume that if you have diabetes, regardless of whether it being type 1 or type 2, that it's just something that you can grow out of or that's something you can maintain with a diet. But as the book said, type 1 diabetes, unfortunately, is something that, you know, happens and where your pancreas stops making insulin, and that's not necessarily something that you can reverse. It's something that you kind of have to live with. And I thought it was really important to have a type 1 diabetic children's book where it wasn't necessarily the child getting diagnosed for the first time, where you're kind of entering and seeing the child live with type 1 diabetes and not letting it really, you know, handicap their ability to have fun and interact. And it gave a good teachable moment for Kyle's character to learn more about it.
That's wonderful, and I think that you did such a nice job.
Thank you.
You're right. I remember growing up, my uncle had type 1 diabetes, and I remember when he would have to have the finger prick, he would need to take his insulin, he had to do the shots himself, and then he had to be careful about what he ate, and there was always a lot of like, do you need a glass of orange juice? Do you need a glass of, I remember just growing up hearing a lot of, do you need a glass of orange juice?
Yeah, totally. Steel Magnolias. Shelby, drink your juice. Yeah.
It's a funny reference. But yes, and so it's nice for children to learn at a younger age what it's like, because there are a lot of children that do have diabetes and may need to walk around with their glucometers, and it might be a little bit of a scary thing when you have to see one of your friends, you know, going through this every single day, multiple times a day.
Exactly.
And so it's really nice for us to be able to kind of make sure that everybody realizes this is a part of life. Sometimes kids have this, and it's normal, and it's something that as long as we're not afraid of it and we understand it, there's nothing to prevent you from playing and from being a good friend to a child that does have diabetes.
Yes.
And you know, it's nice. In the book you showed that the Kyle character had concerns, like, okay, are you supposed to be eating that? And that's nice too, is because, you know, once kids do understand a little bit more and can be helpful, you know, maybe the child is too tempted and wants to eat too many s'mores, and it's okay to be that friend and say, are you sure that this is all right for you to be eating that? And you know, just kind of making sure that everybody is, you know, as healthy and well as they possibly
Yes,
can.
and that's exactly what I wanted the Kyle character to express, that kind of concern and that camaraderie, you know, really to help somebody from a health aspect. You know, it's not exclusive to adults who have the responsibility to help. It's your peers.
Yes, exactly. Well, tell us where we can find this book right now.
So this book right now is available on Amazon. You can also, very soon, it will be available on the Super Captain Brave Man website. It is exclusively on paperback format right now. It will be on ebook format fairly soon. And yeah.
Excellent. Well, we would love to hear from all of our fans, our Super Captain Brave fans, what you thought of this book. We definitely encourage you to check it out, tell your friends. If anybody does have a child or a loved one that has type 1 diabetes, let them know about this book and let them know that it's something that perhaps their libraries or their schools, once we get back in session, might be able to check out. We're going to see about trying to make it available on the e-library US site because most of the other Super Captain Brave Man books are available to public libraries through that site. And yeah, I really appreciate, Victor, you taking so much passion and so much of all of that you've researched and that you know, and putting your heart into all of the books and the illustrations and the wonderful stories that you write.
Oh,
So
it's my pleasure.
It's everybody else's pleasure too. So with that, let's tell everybody what else they can get when they go onto the Super Captain Brave Man site.
I know, let me go on my spiel. With every purchase from SuperCaptainBraveMan.com, and that's exclusive to SuperCaptainBraveMan.com, you can receive temporary tattoos, super cool, and these super cool stickers of Super Captain Brave Man. Look at those. Also, in our free stuff tab, we have fun coloring pages. So if you're feeling the quarantine blues, just print one of these out and go ahead and color them in. We have a lot. We have some of Kyle, and we have some of Super Captain Brave Man. And we would love to see them. So just tag us on Instagram or on Facebook, and we'd love to see your creations. And we are also giving away a super cool Super Captain Brave Man t-shirt. We're giving it away for free. All you have to do is either on our Instagram or on this Facebook post, comment and tag 3 friends, and then you're in the running to win it.
Excellent, excellent. Alrighty, so we, as you know, are going to be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday through the end of May. This Wednesday, we do have some special guests coming, so look forward to seeing you at 2 o'clock Pacific time here on Wednesday. Until then, stay safe and be well.
See you real soon.
Bye.